right. Well, yeah. As long as we stay close, we're gonna be all right.
All right.
Re-record time, baby.
Take two.
Take two.
Take deuce.
Welcome to What the
I was
Tuck.
14 in the club with the deuce.
Welcome to What the Tuck, ladies and gentlemen. I am back again with my guy Harvey Enalls.
What's up?
You guys don't know that though, because there's no episode to prove it.
Lost in the vault.
Yeah, it's okay though.
That was a good talk we had.
We had a good talk. We can just run it back
We got
and
that out of it.
we'll get different talk and people will enjoy something new.
For sure.
Well, welcome Harv, aka Michael Enalls, aka 31, aka 09 Ricky Williams, aka Wellness Forms, aka Bad Cop, aka Sheriff,
Yes,
Deputy,
sir.
something.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
That's the best intro I've gotten in a while.
the many names of Harvey Enalls on Twitter.
Go crazy.
Mike, you were from Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Right.
Born and raised, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's been a good time living here?
Yeah. Super good. Honestly, I've had mixed experiences. Obviously, you get that anywhere.
Yeah.
So you can't really say, this place sucked because this, or it was great because of that. Like, everybody has a kind of a, that I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah, but I feel you.
But it, I made what I made out of it, and so I feel like that was more me than where I was.
I got you.
So
you've been here for quite a long time. You have one more year of college left. Once this year's finished, you have one more year of college football left. What are your plans? Let's just say, what are your goals for next season? And then when football is over, considering everything goes exactly how you want it to go goal-wise, what are your plans after that?
Okay. So specifically, I want to follow that, like Tyrann Mathieu, Honey Badger, Isaiah Simmons, just like that new era defender
Kind of
who
play anywhere?
is everything, anything his team needs, but also everything his team needs. I think that's the coolest. Like, even Derwin James and Jamal Adams kind of have that mentality where, okay, go ahead, run the ball. I'll get a TFL.
Mm-hmm.
Or good luck throwing it. Like, I'll pick it.
Or I'll rush off the edge.
Or, I'll do whatever, so you better keep your eye on me. So I kind of want to be that guy, that do-it-all, go gadget type of dude who's you line 31 up off the edge, in the middle. I mean, I could play slot. I could do whatever. Let's get it type of dude. So that's kind of my biggest goal, is to embody that and see where that goes. And specifically, I have my eye on 5 sacks, 5 picks, and 5 combination of forced fumbles or fumble recoveries.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I just want to be everywhere. Every category, you'll see it. It's evident. Every phase of the game, I'm there. You see 31, you're going to get tired of that. And then also I want to win.
Of course. It's kind of the culture at USF. And if anybody isn't familiar, that's what we do. 26 straight winning seasons.
Facts.
Like, that's big time.
And you got to live up to that too. There's a lot of guys still around town. There's a lot of guys who keep up with the program where, they're kind of in your ear a little bit, like, you guys better, figure some stuff out. You guys got some new coaches, new quarterbacks, some O-line issues. Like, what are you going to do? You better win some games. You know what I mean? So, off rip, Cato, Augie, beat those guys, win the conference championship, at least do damage in the playoffs. But I want that chip. I want that national chip. That would be super cool.
Absolutely.
But you win games, you get awards, you get recognized, you get paid.
Yes, sir.
So that's kind of, if everything goes perfect, I'll be exactly what I want to be in this defense, which is a guy who can do it all. And I'll be a big reason why we win the conference, win in the playoffs, go as far as we can, get to a championship, win a championship. That's something USF has never done.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of my biggest dream, or like my as far out dream as I can get to.
I like it. I like it a lot. How many sacks did you have last year?
5.5.
You had how many fumble recoveries?
3,
Forced fumbles, did you have any?
1,
And then you had 2 picks.
and 2 picks.
So
So that's attainable.
you're on track to beat
that's
that.
something that I can do as long as I, mind my P's and Q's.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah, no, I feel you. That's definitely something to look forward to next year. I mean, in my perspective, I can't wait to watch you guys play. It's going to be different, not being on the field,
Yeah.
but it's going to be cool. Like, I'm really excited. Fun fact about my guy Mike over here. He originally was going to go to Augustana, which we talked about this last time you were here, which we'll just run over
Worthwhile.
it again. You committed to Augustana, decommitted the day before signing day, and then committed to USF. I mean,
Wow.
we had a long story, but you can shorten it up and kind of just give a quick rundown of why you did what you did.
Yeah, I mean, insane just thinking about that again, and the fact that I'm here in a fucking
It's all good.
in a USF shirt, bleed purple, like all the things I've done for USF, just to think that I almost went to that other school.
Yeah.
But so it was my senior season. USF offered me first. They offered me in August, full scholarship. I'll just say it now.
Yeah. It's a
So
long time ago.
they
Doesn't
offered
matter
me a
now.
full ride in August. Season comes around. I'm having a ball. I'm doing great. We played all 4 Sioux Falls schools in Brandon Valley, our first 4 games. So we had the toughest part of our schedule.
It's a
and I'm-
gauntlet.
Yeah, and I'm one of the leaders of the defense through that. As soon as we get so Rapid City in South Dakota, I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with South Dakota high school football, but Rapid City when I was playing they weren't very good. So we went out to Rapid City. We were kind of doing our thing. It was like we were up by like 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. They weren't very good. I intercept a pass, tear my foot.
Oh yeah. That's the foot.
Season's almost over. It's a 7-week recovery table. Championship game, if we make it, is in 7 weeks. That's what I'm looking at based on my diagnosis. So I got this offer from USF hanging on me like, okay, sweet, I'll just go to USF if whatever. So I battle, get back. It's a great story, actually. It's another story, honestly, completely, but I end up intercepting the game-sealing, game-tying, or game-ending interception. So everything's sweet, state champion, going to USF, everything's cool. I get an offer from Augie. I didn't tell anybody about my offer from USF because they told me, don't tell anybody about your offer or whatever.
Yeah.
In retrospect, I should have told every single person I ever met about that offer just so people didn't even come to me with less than a full ride, you know what I mean? It's like, that's the kind of deal where if they don't think they're going to give you a full ride, well, let's try to sneak
A little bit.
$10,000 and give it to somebody else. But
I feel you.
so I should have done that, but so I get another offer from Augie. They take me around, show me around. I go on my visit. I'm like, man, this place is awesome. Okay. So I commit. And then the thing about that was they gave me the offer, and they said, you got till Thursday. Let us know. Or we're giving it to somebody else. And I'm like, oh, shoot. Like, okay, USF's had this offer for me since before the season, before I got injured. They stayed with me after I got injured. Augie's giving me till Thursday. What should I do? I panicked. I had a really fun time on my visit. All props to them. The team was awesome. They had me. Everything was really fun. So I'm like, shoot, commit. My mom has been badgering me for the rest of the month after that. I think it's February or whatever it is. My mom's like, dude, you have to find a way to pay $15,000 there, and you don't have to do that at USF.
True.
I'm not paying that. And that's not coming from your academics. You got to find that, and that's every year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, it's fine. Like $15,000, like to go to Augie, that's awesome. That's a great deal, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm blowing her off. And finally one day, she sits me down. She's like, I don't think you understand. How much money do you have in your account right now? And I don't know. I had probably like $800.
Yeah. Nothing.
And she was like, that's your whole paycheck. You worked 2 weeks for that.
Yeah.
Look at how much I pay in bills every month. And this isn't like extra stuff. This is like necessities, food, house payment, car payment.
Yeah.
Like just like those three, way more than I had.
Yeah.
Way more. She's like, if you add a student loan to that, you are going to suffer for like 40 years
Yep.
after that. And I'm like, oh, shit. She's right.
Yeah.
She's absolutely right. So I'm like, okay, well, I got to make this phone call. I got to tell this dude I can't pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I called the head coach, Olszewski, I think it is. Called him up. He was awesome about it. He was like, listen, man, this decision affects you for the rest of your life. I understand. It's super unfortunate how this is going down. I wish it wasn't to USF, blah, blah, blah. But he was super professional. Awesome. Called the DC. He's hot. Pissed. I think it's Skolton is his name.
Yeah.
Back at the time, at least. Because, I mean, I was probably one of his top recruits. I had committed January or whatever it was. Like,
Early
usually they have their
process.
recruiting through that month.
Yeah.
So I was an early recruit. He's like, why didn't you think of this before? We had that money for you, blah, 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 blah. Like, how could you do this to me? You're so stupid. You shouldn't have done this. And I'm like, listen, man, I'm sorry. Like, I got to do what I got to do. Peace. In retrospect, I probably could have just asked for more money.
Yep.
And maybe they would have gave it to me, maybe not. But I'm completely so 100% happy with my decision to go to USF that I don't really even give it any thought anymore. It's just like, I love this place. I love what I've done. I love how my time has been. Everything has gone according to plan so far. So it's just like, couldn't have been better. Thanks, Mom, type deal. Like,
the moms know what they're talking about sometimes.
Always listen to your mom. That's one thing I've learned over the years, too, is mama might be right even if you don't want her to be.
I've learned that too. I still might,
right.
Still might not think
still
it
learning.
sometimes. Yeah,
Definitely
exactly. Still learning. But no, I think that story from you is like one of the coolest, kind of most interesting commitment stories, that I've ever talked to. Because to have two schools that you guys aren't familiar, Augie is literally 2 blocks away. Like I could look out this window behind me and I can see the campus. And so it's like it's a real rivalry.
Yeah.
And
serious.
To have a flip commitment the day before is nuts, you know. And to have your career too at USF be incredible, dude. I mean, it's a really cool little story to have.
Yeah.
You know? It's a nice little piece of history to throw down in the record books one day, But so do you want to play more once you're done with college ball?
I would love the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not necessarily having my sights set on the NFL.
Yep.
But just to go, when I came into USF, I was more wondering, can I even play college football?
Mm-hmm.
And there's even guys who come to USF and they're thinking, I'm about to go to the league, this, that. But I never had that type of confidence until I got done with my junior season. And I'm sitting there watching my own film. I know you helped me edit it. I'm sitting there watching my own film like, dang, like.
Yeah.
I look good.
Yeah.
And I'm watching NFL, and I'm like, they don't look that different from me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of putting pieces together, like, maybe I could make something happen. So it's kind of, especially during this quarantine where I've had the opportunity to just watch a ton of film. NFL Game Pass came out with like a free little version.
Yep, till like May 31st.
So
or whatever.
I've been just chilling at the crib watching all 22, basically huddle NFL film of all my favorite players, just all day, all the time. So, what were we talking about?
We're just saying possibility if you wanted to play.
Oh yeah,
after.
the NFL. So, so like, that has kind of entered my mind more and more as time goes. But my sights are set more so on finding a way to make money through this game, whether that be coaching, whether that be as a former player, developing shoes, clothes, technology, ideas, something like that. If I can get lucrative with that, that would be sweet. But, or playing Canada, overseas ball, all that stuff. Like, if I can continue with this game and that can feed my family, perfect situation. Whether that's making whatever at the NFL level or whether that's, I'll coach a high school team.
Yeah.
That'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
You don't even have to recruit.
Facts. You got them
just
coming
coach.
to school.
Yeah. I mean, you got to deal with other issues there, and
Yeah.
it's not to say that those guys have an easy job,
Yeah.
but heck yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Anything after college that still has to do with football, I would love to do that.
that's cool, bro. I wish you the best of luck for all that, man. I'm excited to
Appreciate
watch
that.
you and the rest of the team play. I know getting to stand behind you for the last couple of years has been a good time. So getting to see you grow from being 185 Mike to
Yeah.
what are you weighing? Like 230 now?
I'm probably a little flabby right now.
Yeah, it's
Quarantine, probably like 220, but when I'm lifting and stuff, 230.
Okay, look at that. If you can't gain weight, you can do it, man. You can do it.
Can do it. It's possible.
you
You might
gotta-
think it's not, but it is.
You put in the work.
Promise.
Cool. Well, let's kind of move on. You talked about the NFL pass with no sports right now. I mean, like both of us, like we hang out and we talk sports, music, everything, all day, every day. Like, how have you been without being able to dabble into the sports world, and what have you done to kind of like fill that void, other than obviously watching film, stuff like that?
Dude, I'm going absolutely insane. First of all, I just literally forgot what I was talking about in the middle of a sentence. So that just shows you where my mental state is. I'm going nuts being in my house all day. I was honestly excited when you said you wanted to redo this because I was like, bet I get to go hang out with Tucker again. Like, this is sweet. But music, taking dives back into my old collection. Like, I usually try to be that guy who's searching for new stuff all the time, has the new stuff on his playlist, but now going back into my Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy,
Yes, sir.
going back to my old Saba, going back to my old Daniel Caesar. Just those guys stick out, like SZA. Beautiful artists that I was in love with in like 2017.
Yeah.
And then they got old, and so for those like few years I forgot about them, but now it's to the point where those are fresh sounds to me again, and it's awesome going back. So I've honestly been diving really deep into like my old SoundCloud likes.
Okay.
Stuff from like 15, 14, stuff that I was in like 8th grade listening to, and I'm like, dude, my music taste was better than it is now. Like, this stuff is beautiful.
Well,
so
me and X talked about kind of like when you dive back into old stuff, there's like a nostalgia like effect on
Definitely.
what you're hearing, because you think about all the music we used to listen to growing up, like that is always going to be
Yeah.
there, and then nothing's going to beat that in your
Right.
mind. That I think that nostalgia does play a factor, because I'll
Huge.
go back through my SoundCloud likes too, and I'll listen to like old Travis Scott, like Al Farrell and
Yeah.
Days Before Rodeo, and I'm like, dude, this is crazy. dope.
amazing. I think,
Crazy
yeah,
dope.
just making memories to that music adds a layer past what the artist already made
Yeah.
that you can't replicate. And I love experiencing that again,
Yeah.
because just having that stuff and then having those artists already have made beautiful music on top of that, like old Frank Ocean, old Drake even.
Yeah.
There's some stuff on SoundCloud where it's like, oh my gosh,
Well,
this
it's
guy was
crazy.
amazing.
Frank Ocean, dude, it's hard to even like be like old Frank. This man's made 2 albums,
Right.
and a mixtape. So it's like crazy, because I'll go listen to Channel Orange, and that was in 2012,
Right.
but that was 2 albums ago. But it's still beautiful, bro, and it's crazy because you talk about other like Drake. Drake's a album a year type of guy. So when
Mhm.
you're talking old Drake, you're really talking
That's
old Drake.
an old
Yeah.
form of Drake,
Yeah.
yeah. Archaic
Mhm.
almost.
But like guys like Frank, where they wait that long time, which Frank's really the only one that waits 4 years in between his albums. Isaiah Rashad is
Isaiah
about to be
Rashad
on
is
that
about to
level.
get beat up. man.
But talk about, you post on Twitter 4 albums. Was it albums or
Yeah.
songs? I can't
They were
remember.
songs.
4 songs on SoundCloud, and then 4 songs that you just posted from your Apple Music or Spotify.
So I'll start yesterday.
And talk about like what those songs mean to you, and why you posted them.
Yeah. So honestly, I've always been interested in just sharing my music tastes like openly to the world.
Yeah.
And I kind of used to post songs like on Snapchat all the time or whatever, but then it kind of was like that one time on Twitter where everybody was roasting people who post songs and nobody listens to them, and I was like, oh, like, okay, that's kind of embarrassing. Like, I'm one of those guys, so I just kind of stopped. But then I was on Twitter yesterday, and I think this quarantine has been bad for me in some ways and good in the other ways.
think
I'm
it's for
like, you
everybody.
know what, man? This is my Twitter. I want to remember these songs.
Yeah.
I want to go back through my memories and say like, oh, that was the quarantine when I was listening to Outkast, and that was the same song as the sample
Land
on the
Snakes.
J. Cole. Like, you know what, man? Damn that. I'm gonna post a song.
Yeah.
Um,
Which
so the,
I didn't know, because I love Outkast.
Right.
And looking
me
back,
too.
that I re-listened to Outkast after Born Sinner came out. This was probably like 2014, 2015, and I listened to the Art of Storytelling Part 1, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, J. Cole really sampled this, you know?
All the way.
Yeah.
No, like it's not even subtle.
Yeah, it
It's the
was
same beat.
just straight same thing, and it was dope. I mean, Land of the Snakes, I still listen to that song, and
Me
it was
too.
crazy because you posted that, and we don't, like, me and Harv talk music, but it's like when we just kick it. Me and Harv don't kick it every day.
Right.
But I've been bumping Land of the Snakes for the last like 3 weeks. Just
Really?
listen to it again, and I
Oh,
saw that on your
that's
Twitter,
sick.
and I was like, that's
That's
crazy.
so cool.
Yeah, and then I mean those two songs. Both songs are straight
Heat.
incredible.
Heat. I was so excited to hear that because who the heck was talking about Outkast? I don't remember. It's not relevant. But one of my buddies was talking about Outkast and just how much he loved Outkast, and I was like, oh, Tuck loves Outkast. Everybody loves Outkast. Let's go listen to some old Outkast.
Yep.
I'm like, the Art of Storytelling. That sounds dope. Click.
Mhm.
It's the same beat as one of my favorite J. Cole songs. I
Yes.
immediately sent it to my roommate Andrew. I'm like, bro, you gotta listen to this. Like, he sampled the beat. I didn't even know it. I'd heard the song. I never even made the connection. He was like, oh, that's so cool. And so me and my buddies are all super excited about music too, like you. So that's really cool to hear that you had such a cool connection with that, just
Yes,
like
sir.
I did.
Absolutely.
And then honestly, the Smino song,
Which one did you post?
I posted Black Swan because
yeah.
that was the first Smino song I ever heard. And we've talked about this song like a couple different times. And so I honestly wanted to post, and then I wanted to talk about it because I knew that I was coming on.
Yeah.
And I wanted to tell the story about how I overcame my fear of posting my music, and I just was like, I don't care anymore. I'm posting it, and I'm
Yeah,
probably
bro.
going to do it like every day,
Do it.
whatever.
You know
Unfollow
me.
I
I
don't
post
care.
song of the day every day.
Yeah, dude. It is what it is at this point.
Yeah.
I'm not really worried anymore.
Facts.
And then the last song,
Before you go into the last song, how did you? Who told you about Smino?
Paul Gray Bennett.
You know who told Paul about Smino?
Yes.
Me.
You. And that's why we've discussed that
Yeah.
song before, because that's a huge connection. Paul Gray Bennett brought Smino into my life, one of my favorite artists today. Also, I always think about Paul when I listen to Smino.
Oh yeah.
So,
Me and Paul because me and Paul roomed together
Yep.
in Sullivan, and we used to just sit there and listen to Smino all day long, bro.
Paul, man.
That and Paul just sent me like 2 weeks ago. I get a text from Paul. Well, first, Paul hits me up. He goes, "You good, bro?" And this is like right in the coronavirus thing started. I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm all good. Everything's smooth. Just isolation, blah blah blah." He's like, "Cool, man. I just want to check up. I had a dream you got ran over by a van." I was like,
Damn.
"Whoa, Paul." He goes, "I just want to make sure you're good, bro.
Right.
Hope all's well." Paul being Paul.
Type of dude, low key.
Like a week later, text from Paul, and it's just 3 songs from like 3 random artists I've never heard before, and I'm listening to it like, "Oh, this
All
is
of them
fire."
gas, probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then he sends me, Pro Era dude, CJ Fly.
Oh, I love CJ.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he sends me that, and I'm like, oh yeah, Paul, I'm on that.
Yeah.
And so, but Paul being from the East Coast, he loves Pro Era,
love
loves
that.
Joey Badass, loves CJ, all those
Right.
guys. So it was just random, bro. I haven't, we don't see Paul anymore.
Right.
He moved back, and to have him text me with 3 random songs about music is so dope.
I love Paul, and it was always so cool to hear. First of all, his Boston accent was hilarious.
Yeah.
Second of all, just someone who actually grew up where Joey Badass, Jay-Z, CJ Fly, all those guys are from.
ASAP, all those. East
Yeah,
Coast
bro.
guys.
And then to hear him, like, which songs that he loved and bumped, like, I always just used to bite so much music off him because the
Yeah.
dude had just an extended library full of all that East Coast stuff, and
Yeah.
it was all gas. It was so cool.
Yeah.
But anyways, so the last song by Saba, me and my buddy, I had actually showed my buddy his previous project, the Bucket List project,
Mm-hmm.
and we were listening to it, and he was like, it's okay, but I like his next album better. And I'm like, what? And he was like, the next one. And I don't even, what is this album called?
I can't see what I forgot
I'm
what
about
it
to go
was.
find it.
The one you posted, but
Care for Me.
oh yeah.
Care for
So
Me.
I had to go back
He
and
released it 2 years later.
Yep.
I'm like, bro, I never heard that. First song he plays is Busy/Sirens, and it's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Like, gorgeous song. He's literally spitting about, like, basically quarantine situation. Like, all my friends are away from me. They're telling me about how happy I should be and about how successful I am, but I'm really just sad that I'm alone and like I would like I don't know. You have to listen to the song obviously, but and then he played that and I'm like, this is sweet. I didn't even know that Saba had released any new music, so that was the day that I was about to go and post about songs. So I was like, bet, threw that one on. So that one's
Saba's dope.
Saba's really cool.
That
and
whole
I didn't
album
know
is,
how good
is
he was
beautiful, bro.
until yesterday.
Yeah, if you dive deep into that album,
Official, endorsement
yeah,
for Saba and Care for Me.
Care for Me is incredible.
Amazing album.
Bucket List Project's incredible. Saba's dope.
So shout out David Vargas for that one.
Okay, Varg. That's dope.
Vlog out with Chant. Yeah, dude. Good stuff.
And then you went on to post for SoundCloud songs as well.
Songs. These ones I'm pretty excited about.
This is good content, ladies and gentlemen.
Beautiful, beautiful songs. All of them. All of them bring chills.
I'm gonna pull them up on your thing.
Every
too.
time I listen to them. Not as popular as the other ones.
Okay.
A little deeper of a SoundCloud dive. West District, that is the sample that Nipsey used. I don't remember what song Nipsey called it. Nipsey used that sample and made a song over this beat.
Okay.
This is the original beat.
Okay.
Beautiful song by Party Next Door. It's called West District.
Okay. So I haven't listened to West District by Party Next Door, just because I talked about it in the extra clip I posted with me and X, how Party Next Door in the weekend, you have to be in this certain mood to like listen to them, and I haven't found that mood yet entirely. You know what I'm saying? So I'll listen, but I can't like deep dive like I want to. So once I find that mood, I'll be able to really appreciate them more.
Once I get my subs fixed,
yeah,
we should do it in my truck.
Hey, sounds good to me.
2 12-inch subwoofers in the truck. I don't even listen to hip-hop almost ever. I listen to like The Weeknd, Party Next Door, Frank Ocean, all that stuff. The way that the bass enhances that music is so much better than listening to
like On My Level by Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah, all that stuff. Like, you know what, man, that bangs, but after a while you get tired of just the bass like beating your head in like it's not cool. But when you get a guy like Frank Ocean and he's got a song like Pyramids where the bass is absolutely just vibrating the whole car, that's way cooler. Yeah. Way better content. Fire. I'll pay for that. Perfect. I don't care. I'll roll around listening to Frank Ocean and my bass will be bumping like I don't know, listening to some Chief Keef or something. People think I'm a criminal. Everyone's staring at me. It's okay though. The music's beautiful.
Your next one was Sobriety by SZA.
One of my favorite songs that I've ever heard. It's kind of vulgar, not safe for work probably.
Yeah, it's okay. So a lot of songs, honestly.
But shout out to my sister. I don't know if she listens to this, but some songs just remind me of her in a different way. It's just like she's an outstanding singer, first of all.
Sister has your sister or SZA? Both.
My sister.
Your sister has an incredible voice.
Has a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
And the way that she'll sing some songs, it's like she has a very unique key that she hits better than anybody else. Yeah. Even the artists that I listen to on iTunes or whatever, she hits that key better than anybody I've ever heard. And sometimes when an artist gets close, no matter what they're talking about, I'm like, that's a beautiful song. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that's one of those songs where the first time that I listened to it, I was like, wow, that's beautiful. And I was probably like 14.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had no idea what she's talking about. And then over the years, I've listened and listened and listened. And I felt some of those feelings that she talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm so deeply connected with this. Like this song is one of my biggest, when you're just struggling and you're having a terrible day and you have one of those songs and you just go in your room and you listen to it over and over and over and you just like, it just screams in your ear and you're like, oh, I need to feel this.
Yeah.
Like that's one of those songs for me. Like this song is on the same level as like Nights by Frank Ocean for me, where if I'm just in one of those moods where I'm just feeling awful about something, I just like blast that song in my face.
Sit down, lay on the bed, let it ride.
Yeah, and usually that helps me feel better. So that's Sobriety by SZA. And I wanted to share that really bad for a long time because it's not a song that you post and you're like, oh, you would like this song?
Yeah.
Like, no, it's a really sad, deep, and dark song, but I love it, so I posted it.
Exactly, bro. And that's what I think is cool. Like, I hope that you keep it up, because I do Song of the Days on Snapchat to give people music to listen to.
Yeah.
Even if it's a popular song that most people have heard, like, if you haven't heard it, listen to it, and if you already have it, listen to it again, bro.
Yeah.
I really hope people like actually look at it and are like, I'm gonna check this song out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, I hope you keep that up on Twitter, because it's cool to see songs like that normally aren't posted,
right?
You know, and people that can look at it and listen to it and see if they have a connection with it and stuff like that. So I hope you keep it going.
Thanks.
Yeah, I got you.
I need
bro.
that. I, need that
I got you.
Keep that coming. You know what I mean? So then the next song, Two-Face by J. Cole.
Oh.
One of the first songs that introduced me to J. Cole, and I was like, that guy's it. That guy, that's my favorite rapper. That dude is amazing. He said, you know what, I'm not even going to say what he said. I don't want to ruin the surprise. You need to listen to that song if you haven't heard it. And if you have heard it, hit me up, call me, and I would just like to talk about your feelings about it, because that's how much I love the song. I want to talk about it all the time.
Dude, Friday Night Lights.
The whole mixtape, Friday Night Lights, is some of J. Cole's best work. It's beautiful.
I mean, Vilmatic, Blow Up,
The whole
Higher,
thing. Blow
In
Up
the
was
Morning,
famous. That was
Cost
in,
Me a Lot, Home for the Holidays. Like, it just started playing. Looking for Trouble. That's how
Looking
good it
for
is.
Trouble.
It started playing by itself.
It's amazing.
But that whole mixtape is, I mean, that was the J. Cole. That's the J. Cole I love.
Mm-hmm.
I like 2014 Forest Hills Drives. I
Right.
like For Your Eyes Only. I can't even tell you what his last album was called, because I forgot what it was already. But my favorite J. Cole was like Friday Night Lights, Born Sinner, J. Cole. Dude, like that stuff. Everything up to 2014 Forest Hills Drive was where that's where I was really feeling Cole. After that, like, his music's still dope to me, but it's not like it's probably the nostalgia effect too. It's probably nostalgia. Because I listen to that stuff is just different, and that's why I think people. Me and Jeff talked about this in the culture once or twice. Cause his favorite Kanye is Graduation. My favorite Kanye is My Beautiful Dark. And if you look at the age difference between me and Jeff, Jeff is 2-3 years older than me. The albums came out 2-3 years apart. It's a timing thing, bro. People like different stuff because of the different age they're in, and you know, that's why people like Lil Uzi now more than they like people that I might have listened to when I was their age. You know, it's just
certain events happen at the same time.
Yes.
Certain factors, just things going on, and then you make memories to certain music, and then you're just inclined to listen to that music more.
Yes,
and
sir.
This J. Cole, man. This stuff surpasses generation.
I still listen to that all the time.
That's the Magna Carta, you feel me? That's
it's so good. It's so good. Yeah, dude. I wanted to bring that up because I saw you tweet about it, and obviously I knew most of the
100%.
songs. And
Well, thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, man.
Because I was excited to talk about it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, let's talk a little bit more about this quarantine, because we're in it. We're deep in it.
Crazy.
We might be on a stay-at-home order in the next week.
Insano.
So we are actually now, Sioux Falls has the #1 hotspot for coronavirus.
Gang.
Let's go, baby. Smithfield Foods, shout out.
Sir.
So it's popping around here. We were like lowest in the country for a while, and then that happened, and now we're just like
flipped a switch.
Yeah, flip. Yeah,
Hey.
so it's going crazy now. What's like the Get and Go on 33rd? There was a dude that had it there, so they're shut down. That's the only place I ever got gas / snacks. So that sucks.
Right.
Thankfully, I wasn't there while he was working. So
Right.
praise Jesus.
So that was crazy because my buddy gives me the news. He's reading it from like his relatives sent him the news link.
Mm-hmm.
And then I left the house and drove past, and the whole thing was blocked off, yellow tape, can't go inside. The building was closed down. There's nothing going on.
Didn't you come to my house that day?
Yeah, that's where I was headed.
Yeah.
I left to go to your house, and the whole thing was shut down completely. I was like, wow, they are not playing.
Yeah. It's wild, bro. Like, I feel like it's so hard to come onto this podcast and be like, all right, I'm going to try to avoid talking about this. But then things like that happen, and it's like, okay, it's what's going on right now.
That's what's happening.
I can't not talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I going to talk about? The fact that Jameis Winston's still training? Like, no, it's nothing. Davian Clowney's still a free agent? Like, no, it's boring.
Dude, Cowboys, what's up?
But the fact that they really shut it down like that, bro, and that's like right in our neighborhood. You know,
Like,
you're
right.
3 blocks away. I'm 3 blocks away.
Literally on the way from my house to your house.
Yes. So it's crazy out here, bro. And
Yeah.
we might be on the stay-at-home order in the coming week or so. So
I need to stock up.
I just stocked up, so I'm good to roll.
I need to make it happen at Costco. I need a mask probably.
Yeah.
Probably wear some gloves while I'm in there.
You got to stay safe out here, people. Got to stay safe and find ways to enjoy this time. I mean, if you're alone, you're alone. Find ways to make it fun. If you're with your roommates,
Right.
enjoy it.
Gotta find stuff to do.
Like, find new things about your roommates you might not know, man. Have a good conversation.
You know what? The conversation that I've had with my roommates in this time has been better than we've ever communicated before.
You're forced to, pretty much.
Talk about, like, reveal things to each other. We're talking about stuff that, I mean, we're talking about ideas, introspection, like, stuff that's on our mind. Like, it's not the normal, what's up? What's up? Trying to have some beer later?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You sore? I'm sore too.
I'm super sore from the workout. Like, nah, it's not that anymore. So it's been upsides and downsides.
Yeah.
So
talking sports, Mike, you are a Portland Trail Blazers fan.
Dame time.
Big Damian Lillard guy.
Hashtag C3J McCollum.
CJ McCollum's a baller. Hashtag Mello.
Hashtag Mello with the little, you know how it would look. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. You know how it would be.
Yep.
Hashtag.
How did you become a Trailblazers fan? Being in South Dakota, I guess you don't really have a lot of choices. Well, you have a lot of choices because there's no pro teams around here. You're forced to become a Sioux Falls Skyforce G League fan. But other than that, how did you become a Trailblazers fan?
First of all, Sioux Falls semi-pro sports are popping.
Absolutely.
Tons of championships out here, so don't sleep.
You're not wrong. You're not
just
wrong.
Had to put on there. So I'm getting into basketball. I'm watching like 2011. I'm watching the Heat. Super interesting. The Mavericks, the Thunder. Obviously the Heat continued. The Spurs, like, they're all fun to watch. So I'm like, all right, I can get in this NBA thing. So I think it was 2014 rolls around. I'm just watching the playoffs, just casually. And Damian Lillard hits that shot over the Rockets to send him home. And I'm like, that was cool. Like, I like that guy. Dame time. As soon as I saw that, I was like, I'm going to follow him wherever he goes. So ever since then, I've been a Damian Lillard fan. And then I just rep the Trailblazers because that's who he reps.
He's never going to leave.
But
we hope.
As a Dame fan, I hope he does. As if I was a Trailblazers fan, I would be sick.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if Dame would go play with, Bron, Giannis.
Oh. Well, yeah.
One of those dudes.
It's just, I know Dame, from what he's said in interviews, I know that he loves the Trailblazers. He loves Portland. The fan base has been so good to him. He signed that big contract.
Supermax.
Yeah, like, I don't see him going anywhere until maybe he starts, like, the decline of his career, which I hope isn't anytime soon.
Yeah.
Which I don't think it will be. But he's doing what he's doing in Portland, and they're like one little piece away from making these runs to go deep in the playoffs. Just one little
watching
piece.
them from that point onward. First of all, their free agency strategy is trash. Sign somebody. Go get somebody. Like,
what was their last year? They got rid of Evan Turner and
They got rid of Evan Turner, and they picked up
Kent Bazemore, right?
Kent Bazemore.
Which is like the same person.
What did you just do there? Like, it's been so frustrating to watch. And then they'll be in the Western Conference Finals, or they'll be in the second round of the playoffs, so they'll pick 26 or they'll pick 22, or you know what I mean? So they're not getting a guy in the draft who can put them over the hump. And they've just been sitting around watching free agency go by. Like, I don't know, man.
Well, it's hard, I think, when you have Supermax Dame.
That's now, though.
Yeah, that's true.
That's very recent.
That's very true. But you have Dame and CJ. You have to, if you want to keep them around, you have to go to them first.
Yeah.
You got to keep their contracts healthy. You go sign, or however they got Nurkic. You know, he's not like bad, but he's not like up here where he needs a lot of money. But he's still like a decent money guy.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's hard as an NBA general manager to fulfill. Like, you got to go find like a young guy that's going to be cheap that has potential.
Everybody wants those guys.
Exactly. So I agree that their off-season free agency moves have not been the best, but like they're just one little thing away from being really, really
they're
good.
So close. I think they're a small forward away.
Well, absolutely.
I think that's the difference specifically. They need a 3 who can contribute and who can guard LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard, who are also playing the 3, you know what I mean, in the Western Conference. So, and we have Rodney Hood right now who's hurt, but he was the best on the team when we started the season. And it's just frustrating.
Yeah, and you got Melo, but Melo's like playing the 4
Melo's
right now.
Playing the 4.
And he's not defensively inclined.
Yeah, he's not going to start in the finals.
Yeah.
We need more. So we are specifically a 3, but in a perfect world, a 3 and a 4 away from being on the level of the Lakers, Bucks, Clippers, guys like that. So,
well, Hassan Whiteside was a huge pickup.
Huge. It was great for us.
Dude, I mean, he was kind of just chilling with the Heat for a little bit. Didn't really, like, he needed to move.
Yeah.
And I remember watching his, like, rise when he was, like, a 68 overall on 2K, and then all of a sudden he was, like, 82, and he was, like, balling for that, like, 3-week stretch and just stayed there for a really long time in his career. And it was really cool to see him go to the Trailblazers because they needed a big guy. And I think that was a huge, huge, huge pickup. But they're still, like, they're 3 away, bro.
Yeah, man.
It's so tough. I like the Trailblazers.
I love them.
I was a Supersonics fan, and then the Thunder just, bottom, whatever. So I hate the Thunder. So what's the next closest team? Trailblazers. So I follow, but I'm still like, when the Supersonics come back, I'm going to be a Supersonics fan. Until then, I will not have a team.
Right.
So I root for, I love LeBron. I like Giannis. The Heat. I like the Heat because their jerseys, the Vice City jerseys, those are so sick. And so I just kind of follow around the NBA. But I mean, if I had to choose a new team, I would go with the Trailblazers because they're the next closest to where I would be at, as a fan base. So I follow.
I definitely love NBA culture as a whole. Just the way that they, first of all, the way they promote, how graceful they are in social situations. The game itself is so fun to watch now, especially just the way the offense is progressing, the way that the three-pointer is becoming a thing, how athletic these guys are nowadays. Like, the NBA is probably my favorite product as far as sports. But obviously, being a football player, I understand the game of football so much better that I could never betray my first love. But I'm definitely becoming more and more and more of a basketball and specifically an NBA fan as time goes on, as I get older.
Yeah. You watch hockey at all? You're a Midwesterner, so you see it right here, baby.
There's a few factors that are involved there. I did buy NHL.
I respect that.
I love that game. It's really fun.
It's really fun.
I'm not very good at it.
It's okay.
I don't understand hockey very well.
That's why, there's a lot of weird, little intricate things in hockey. They're so
different.
It's different.
But I love the physicality.
That's what's
fun. I can definitely, if people are watching it, I can sit down and watch it. But if it's on and I'm scrolling, I ain't watching.
I respect it. Well, we're almost done, so you got any questions for me, or you want anything to tell the people? Any last, final, anythings?
So, if you could win a gold medal in any Olympic event, which event would you choose?
All right. So, this question is important, very much important. This was always the first question we brought up in Hot Seat during football season. So we'd have a guy, we'd go up, and we'd just throw questions at him. I always got first, and this was always the question. I got this question from my guy, Daisy Danes, back in high school. Thank you, Daisy, if you choose to watch this. If you don't, that's okay. So that question became like a staple of Hot Seat, and people would always wait for me to ask the question first. So my answer, because I never got to be on Hot Seat, Never had the opportunity to go up there, even though I had all these questions.
Never got to ask himself.
Never got to ask myself. The answer, there's multiple answers. If I wanted to cop out, if I wanted to just go simple, and I was up there on hot seat, I would say the 100-meter dash. Why? I get the title of fastest man in the world. Nothing wrong with that.
Period.
If I really wanted to be super dope athletic, I would do like pole vault or the rings. The rings.
The gymnastics rings.
Yes.
Good Lord.
Those are crazy.
Insane.
Those do
Captain Insane.
like that would be super sick. But I think the one I would want to do for pure adrenaline would be ski jumping. I think that would be hard.
That would be insane.
Yeah. So those are my answers.
Wow. Okay.
Those are my answers. So right back at you then. I'll throw it right back.
Okay. Catch that. Okay. If I could win a gold medal in any Olympic event, I think I would choose boxing.
Oh.
Either boxing or wrestling, because those guys are savages and they can beat up any person on the entire planet.
Yeah.
And I'm into that. I'm into having that much power. But also,
you can't argue that.
the 400-meter dash is really cool because, I don't know, like, most people have at least tried it once and realized how insanely difficult that is. But that's, like, the coolest unit of measurement to me is the whole track, the whole thing, one time. Sprint.
Yeah.
Who's going to win?
Yeah.
So, the 400 if we're going to run, or I'm going to stick with wrestling.
Okay.
So, the 400 or wrestling.
I like both of those. Those are good. The 400 was crazy the last Olympics. Did you watch the dude break the record?
Yes.
In lane 8?
That was... I've never seen anything like that.
That was crazy.
I'm not an insane track fan, but I've never seen anybody honestly win like a big race from lane 8.
Well, yeah, and like
Never
the
watched
fact
that.
that he went out, and I'm like, bro, this dude's gonna die.
Yeah, he getting caught.
And he kept his pace, and I'm like, bro, he's about to break the
And then
record.
he took off.
He's about to break the record. He finished. I was like, this man just
Smashed
did
it.
that. That's what's crazy to me about track is like you have these guys that are like, this is the fastest man in the world. He's gonna do his thing. But then you have guys that might not have peaked yet, and then they peak in the right race and they win like that. That is crazy. It's such a beautiful sport, bro. Track is a beautiful
And then
sport.
one thing I always like to see too is looking at, so this guy broke the record, but second place and third place broke the old record too.
Yeah.
So like, how are those guys gonna react to what just happened? You know, like that last 100-meter Olympic final, and Usain Bolt just took off and he didn't showboat at all, and he I think it was 9.58 or whatever. He broke the record. Tyson Gay and what's his name, Asafa Powell or whatever,
Powell.
2 and 3. They broke the record too. They
Mhm.
were floating, balling,
But
they lost.
they lost.
You know what I mean? So that's just one of my favorite things to just check out is how do those guys feel about
Yeah.
what just happened, what just transpired.
Which is sad. We won't get to see the Olympics this year,
Wow,
which sucks. But
it's crazy.
what a time we live in, bro.
Historic times. We're alive.
We're alive. We've lived through a lot, bro. Our age
We
has lived
actually
through a
have
lot.
been through a lot.
The recession of 2008, 9/11, swine flu,
I guess.
kind of. But I mean, just that right there, 9/11, and
9/11.
the recession, and now this. That's 3 crazy historic
Yeah.
little pieces of life right there. That'll go down in the record books. So, hey man, hang out with your friends. Well, hang out with your roommates.
Right.
Stay 6 feet apart. Love up your family.
Social distance.
Enjoy your time while you can, and go listen to good music.
Yes, sir.
Harv, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna
What
make
the
sure this
tuck?
thing is right and done, so I don't have to redo this again. But I'll have you back on the show for sure because it's always fun talking to you.
Let's do it.
All right, appreciate
anytime.
you, man. This is What the Tuck.
What the tuck?
I'm out.